Hello everyone, and welcome to your January 2019 Tarotscopes. Of course, I've missed December 2018, but it has been a very busy time, so I do apologize, and I hope you're enjoying catching up with what's going on with 2019. Now, do remember to check out my events calendar on my Carolyn Clairvoyant website. As you will find, I have quite an extensive year of travel around, and I'm going to be in lots of places all at once, so it would be wonderful to be able to catch up, do a one-on-one reading or a group booking. I thank you so much for your wonderful patronage over the years, and I look forward to connecting with you more and more as we move through 2019. Cosmic hugs, everybody. Hello Sagittarius, let's take a look. What does January 2019 have in hold for you? Okay, and we're just waiting to see what cards want to really flick out. And here we go. All right, give it a little bit more of a shuffle, and then we'll be getting into your reading. Here we go. One more little look at what's going on. Okay, so we'll put the rest of these cards over here to be read a little later, and we'll take a look at what's going on. So we're going to look at the home and the family, or where you are within yourself right now, your career goals and aspirations, or the things that are important to you. We'll be looking at your finances, health and well-being, and of course your relationship areas. So the first thing that you do have around you in January is the non-commitment card. Look, you know, the Queen of Cups in reverse usually tells you that you're changing your mind repetitively, or you're finding that there is no solid commitments around this month in which you'd be able to feel yourself motivated. So you're going through a stage of kind of losing a little bit of energy there, and this procrastination could be creating a few little dramas for you because you're just not feeling settled at the moment. So Spirit's showing here that this is a chance not to get caught up in the environment as far as feeling as though you need to rush decisions, but you need to have a solid plan of some sort. And being a Saggy, sometimes, you know, you want your sense of freedom over feeling restricted, but part of you knows that you're in a bit of a no-win situation, so you really can't rush ahead and make decisions because perhaps you don't have the financial connection here, or you may find that you're not motivated because nothing is working right now, and this is a major step. And for you to be able to make this major step, this means that you have to be able to be happy. And because this is also a real estate card, by the way, it does tell you here that this could have a lot to do with relocation or homing, or your decisions connected to what you're doing and whether this is going to work out. So Spirit is just indicating here that you're really in a time of just feeling like you're in transitory. You're not really strong about your commitments right now. You're thinking about it. You know it'll be a major step, but you don't want to cause obstacles for you in the near future. So Spirit's saying maybe you're taking a long way around solving this. Maybe you know what you need to be doing, but you're just, you know, you're holding back. You just don't want to kind of like have that confrontation or have that situation come to an area where you really need to deal with it right now. So you're hanging back off commitments. You're not really feeling quite settled in January. You're actually going through a time of like readjustment, but you're not really feeling absolutely happily settled. So this could take you a little bit of time, and because the Queen of Cups is usually around about mid-year, she's a Cancerian type influence, it could mean that you've been blocked since about June, July last year, 2018, and you may be finding that right up until around about June, July 2019, you might be finding yourself not really sure where you're heading or where you're going. You just know that you're on a bit of a journey, and therefore Spirit's saying here, well, in the meantime, don't stress too much, but don't go changing your mind too much as well, which means that that could put yourself into a little bit more of a procrastinating state. Okay, unsure, not sure, do I continue on or do I make that change now? Your career goals and aspirations are the Chariot in reverse, and this means that nothing is going to go to plan. Everything that you are trying to do is going to take a little bit longer to achieve, but there are areas that you know have been a problem, but you haven't been able to really deal with it head on. And perhaps this is where you're no longer going to take the long way around solving that. You're going to say, well, listen, I need to make a major decision here because what's been happening hasn't been working, and I have a vision of where I need to be with my career goals and aspirations, but I can't do it while ever I'm still trying to fix this other issue. So Spirit is showing here that you've got an opportunity to go back, have some motivation, get your energy back. Okay, it's maybe a lot has been happening in the past 6 months and you've lost your way a little bit there. Okay, and this is a chance to get your energy back on track, and this is about solving those areas that you know have been a thorn in your side, have been that kind of that bone of contention, and by doing this you will find yourself a lot more focused. Okay, but right now you've got a few issues here, and this is stopping you from being able to move forward. And problems with being motivated, problems with transport, problems with plans and goals, because you can't make any commitments while you're stuck. Okay, and this is where Spirit's saying, look, it's time to really look at this situation and see it from a different perspective, and maybe by doing that you'll get yourself into a more area of being a lot more stable there for a little while. Okay, your finances, this is indicating the Two of Swords. Now, this Two of Swords is all about being at a bit of a stalemate. You're going to make some money, but then you're going to be back to square one, and then you're going to get ahead, and then you're going to be back to square one. You know you need to make a change, but you can't stick to that commitment because you know that you've got some major accounts or major areas that you need to be looking at. And the only way you're going to get through this is sometimes just taking a little bit more advice from those around you that may have already been down this same pathway. So on a productive level, this is about your financial affairs needing to be put back into order, but you don't know how to start that because you've had one complication after another. You haven't been able to stick to any budgets or commitments that you've had, and you've put yourself into a position where now, slowly but surely, there has been an issue that's popped up that needs to be dealt with. So Spirit says you're going to go back to the drawing board. You're going to look at this. You're going to see how's the best way I can support my financial areas, but how can I also not bring myself to a point where I'm not making any money as well. So you're going to need to really sit down and buckle down if you're going to get through this month, because you may have some help through advice and through other areas, but you may not have it if you're continuing to do the same habits as you've done before, which means that you've procrastinated or spent money that you shouldn't be spending, or you're not earning because you're not putting the commitment in there. So Spirit shows here this is going to be a bit of a tough lesson on the Saggies this month with finances, but guess what? You can get through it if you're willing to put that energy in. Health and betterment. Now look, you've got the Judgment sitting here, which is ruled by Pluto, which is obviously the house of Scorpio, which comes up around about the 8th house. This is also a surgeries card, but Pluto is slow forming, which means that anything that's been happening has probably been hidden in the background. It's been something that has been kind of progressively moving forward, and maybe you've had surgery there before. Maybe there was a bit of a slow recovery, or something has popped up that needs to be dealt with at the moment. And because I can see here a lot of the procrastination areas, this could mean that it has something to do with dualities down into, we could talk about our hormones, our relationships, something that does with other people and the environment. So Spirit says here that you're needing to take a real strong look at what you are putting into your body, how you're digesting your body, what you need to do to make some major changes here for your health and your betterment. And this could be something that you need to really commit to. Now for some it just might mean that you're taking out a health insurance, or a insurance in which you can benefit from. For others it means you're making major decisions because other areas of your life have been slowly showing you that you've needed to make this change, but part of you has been a little bit nervous or anxious about it. And I guess, you know, Spirit's saying, well, listen, you're going to have the support that you need, but it's going to be about you putting that energy in as well. So because the 8th house rules our sexuality, it rules births and deaths as well, but it also is about the regeneration of change, not necessarily a physical death, but maybe it's an emotional or a period of time in which you've had to really look at the identity of what you've done with yourself and your perceptions of your body, and maybe making a few changes there. And for some that are having surgery, it just tells you that it's been something that's been progressive, it's been talked about, but maybe you've come up to a point now that you can make that decision, and you'll have the right skilled person around you. Maybe they don't know exactly what to do or what the outcome will be, but Spirit shows here that it should be quite positive. But there are some major areas in which you will need to take care of your health and betterment, especially if it's in and around that pelvic area, okay, or the hormonal areas of the energy, because you will be finding here that you might be finding lethargically, you've got a little less energy. You may be finding that you've been slowly going through a bit of a body transition. Maybe there's areas that you need to really get on top of that could be very important in helping you feel a lot more stable. Your relationship areas, look, you've got the Magician. I like the Magician here. It tells you this is a highly social and out there time. You're going to be finding your mind clicking over an awful lot, and you're going to be finding that people are really drawn to you because of your knowledge or your skills, or because of just who you are. It's also a real estate card and a skilled practitioners card, so that's why I know that you're going to have the right support sitting around you in connection with the home and the family, your career path and goals, but also your betterment and well-being and finances. So all of this is governed by the fact that you have, you know, an energy in which you'll draw the right people and the right circumstances in. The problem that I get is that you are unsure about what your commitment should be, and because of this you feel like everything's too complicated. You're just sitting still. I can't move forward because I think I should do, but I don't have the money, and then I think I should be moving forward, but I don't have the commitment even when I do have the money. So I'm kind of, you know, creating the same cycle here and here again. And Spirit says, well, it's time for you to really look at this in a little bit of a longevity time, not just focusing on what's going here, because the past 2 months have been a little bit all over the place, but looking at this as a time in which to slowly make some progress. And by doing that, you may be finding this improves your relationships, your personal areas. Some people may do online dating, other people may choose to just get outside their comfort zones and do something a little bit different than what they normally have done every time. So this is positive for the relationship, even though you might be feeling things are a little bit fractured everywhere else. So your cards that are sitting on top, look, this is all about, you know, the Emperor, which rules governments and contracts and agreements and father figures and males in your life, okay, or predominant male energy. And then we have the King of Cups sitting here, which can be a male, okay, but it's also sensitivities. And then we've got the Queen of Wands in reverse, which is all about frustrations around the domestic area. So if I was to look at this and say, well, listen, you know, you're going to be predominantly having to deal with another male or something that's going on within the home and the family that's really going to bring up an area where you're really not too sure what to do. Now, you know that you have to make a commitment, but part of you knows that you can't solve this situation, but you're frustrated by it because it's dominating your areas at the moment. And if you are dealing with government, then this is the specialty areas that you're going to need to get out of the rut that you're in. Maybe someone's giving you a chance to make a decision and you're confused over what you should do with that decision, because after all, it's all documented, it's legal, or there is a contract, or there is something that needs to be dealt with this. And as frustrating as it is, you can't make that commitment because you feel that this is such a major thing. It's something that you didn't expect happening. So Spirit is showing here you've got opportunities around you to clear things up. but you may need to deal with it head on rather than feeling that you're going around in circles. So you've got support systems. People are empathetic and understanding to what you want, but you're frustrated because you feel like you're not getting the commitments. You feel like life has been in two places. You feel like you are frustrated because no matter what you do, you seem to come back to the same circle of opportunity, but no opportunity. And Spirit says, but those frustrations are valid or major frustrations. Therefore, this is a chance for you to get out of that area of procrastination, to get the right opportunities in which to have the right advice or the right skills or the right understanding in order to put life back into perspective. And you do have this support, you do have this environment opening up, and it will come through this opportunity of support. Like I said, there's masculine areas, so whether this is government, whether this is you taking the lead, whether this is dealing with males who are going to be instrumental in helping you get out of the frustrations that you've been in, but by using their knowledge, by using their technical savvy or whatever it takes to get you into this chance of being able to stay on track, because you've lost motivation here. You feel like everything is at a standstill and it seems too serious to make any commitment because you don't feel you have the skills or you have the support. Yet Spirit shows here you have every opportunity to clear out these frustrations and to be able to get things back on board very soon. I thank you so much for your beautiful connection, and I hope that you have enjoyed your Tarotscopes for the time of January 2019.